their respective Cabinet League members, and particularly to the expertise and devotion of Rob Starks and Ruth Watkins and their finance team to assemble our budget for next year. It has been a truly collaborative effort, and I salute all of the officers and members involved. We are proposing that our base council tax increases by 2.99% to £961.33 at Band D, remaining the lowest Band D council tax outside of London by some distance. The adult social care levy is proposed to remain at 74.74, having already applied the maximum in previous years at Band D, bringing the additional funding to support the needs of the elderly to 20.7 million over 4 years, and enabling us to spend 21.4 million more on these vulnerable and deserving residents over the same period. We expect to increase our spending next year by 5 million on children's, adults and public health services, largely to support children in our care, with additional government grants of 1.3 million and 2.8 million of targeted efficiencies in smart buying of services identified by officers to help fund the growing needs of some of the most vulnerable young residents in our communities. We anticipate £700,000 from additional parking income, whilst continuing to support our residents by investing £1.3 million to pay for no increases for the second year running in our time-based parking charges for Advantage car holders. We want to invest £1 million more in residents' refuse and recycling to remain firmly one of the dwindling number of councils to still provide weekly emptying of every resident's bin. We are planning £600,000 more income from our property investments, and officers have identified and verified £2 million of efficiencies outside of children's, adults and public health services, including those arising from a somewhat reduced number of councillors. This Conservative administration proposes to reinvest this by spending more on other resident priorities: environmental health, enforcement, trees, libraries, leisure centres, Northern Farm Arts Centre, the Guildhall, York House Windsor resident access, and maintaining unprofitable but important bus routes, and continuing to allocate £300,000 each year for the critical grants we award on residents' behalf to charities and other organisations supporting the vulnerable, the homeless, the mentally and physically challenged, the old and the young, and arts, sports and community groups across the borough, many of whom depend on these council grants to continue their good work. Of some significance to our budget next year is a plan to contribute an additional £4 million into our employees' pension scheme, bringing the effective employer pension contribution rate to 27.2%, a level which most in the private sector can only dream of being invested in their pension. Noting that the required contribution rates into statutory auto-enrolment schemes across the country are 3% for the employer and 5% for the employee. Our employee rate is between 5.5% and 6.5%. The future for business rate retention beyond next year remains ambiguous, which perhaps helps to answer some of the points made in the petitioner's remarks. Although we do anticipate receiving £2.2 million in the coming year through our decision to be part of the Berkshire Retention Pilot Group, beyond that, it is genuinely unknown. Given this, and the other uncertainties evident in our economy, this administration proposes not to plan to spend this income, and instead use it and a further £1.3 million to prudently increase our reserves by £3.5 million. We propose total gross capital investment next year of £30.4 million, including £12.7 million in highways, pavements and bridges, £10.3 million in resident facilities in education, schools, leisure, trees, libraries and green open spaces, £4.5 million in new refuse collection vehicles, and £2.9 million in other infrastructure. These investments, when added to those already underway or likely to arise during the coming year, indicate that the £57 million of borrowing inherited 12 years ago from the previous Lib Dem administration will rise to £85 million at the end of next year. However, unlike the £57 million we inherited, we have a clear expectation that the capital receipts from our regeneration investments and developer contributions will more than fully fund this and the future infrastructure investment the borough requires, leaving the council debt-free in the medium-term future, should it wish to be so. This is a budget for all in the borough. The young, the elderly, the vulnerable, the council's employees, and every council taxpayer who expects their council to tax them fairly and expects us to prioritise the services they value and helping those less able or unable to help themselves. This is a budget for today, tomorrow and for many years to come. Mr. Mayor, I propose this budget to Council. Thank you.